Hey guys, this is my new car. It's a 2017 Volvo V90. It has the D5 engine, it's the R design trim, and because it has the D5 engine, that means it's also all-wheel drive. Now I think this car is one of the best looking cars on the road at the moment. Definitely. It looks so aggressive, it looks angular, the lines are so sharp. It's beautiful, and I think it's so much better looking than a 5 Series of the same time. Now my car doesn't have the 360 camera, but that's not too bad. I don't really think it's much of a needed option. It'd be cool to have and cool to see like an above view of your car, but it's not needed. I've got 2 LED lights. Now LED lights are so much better than normal halogens or projector beams. I cannot stress that enough. If you have the option ever to option a car or choose a car or whatever, choose LED lights if possible, because it's like night and day, literally. Down there you have your fog lights and your front plate. Now my front plate says right at the bottom, Centre Point MOT Centre. I don't think that's the most attractive thing, so I'm going to look into maybe getting that changed in the future, but I can't be bothered right now. It's not really an immediate thing. Oh yeah, and one thing to mention, you have headlight washers just below the headlights, and these enable every 5 times you wash your windscreen. So if you're driving around cleaning your windscreen a lot, you may wonder why you see water coming out the front of your car, and that's why, because it definitely puzzled me the first couple times. 18-inch diamond cut alloys. I've got Michelin Cross Climate Plus tyres on them. I'd say that if these were the 19s or the 20s, if they have 20s, those would look a lot better. But because they're smaller, doesn't mean I save on tyres, I think, so that's always good. I have changed the front wiper blades, but luckily they're not expensive to change, and put proper Bosch ones on. I don't understand why people buy terrible wiper blades. Not that this one had anything on there, I think they were the original Volvo ones, but put proper wiper blades on your car. I also changed the one at the back. Now at the back, you can hold down the button on the key to open up the boot. So it opens electronically. On higher trim cars, you can wave your foot beneath the bumper and it will open, but mine doesn't have that option. Holding these buttons down puts the seats down to allow for even more room. One complaint back here though, and I do find this actually as a complaint, because there's just not enough storage under here. So with this you have the cargo separator, so I guess you could separate your shopping from one end to the other so bags don't roll around and stuff like that. I need to hoover this, damn. But beneath here, while it is on a strut, so that's nice, there's just not a lot of storage. I can store an extra number plate and perhaps a tyre gauge in that little corner over there, but not a whole lot. Beneath here you have your spare wheel, so it's nice to see a spare wheel, and your toolkit. I would just like to see some more space, because I was storing some jumper cables back here, and because there isn't a lot of room, every time I wanted to use them I had to try and get them out, and they'd just be in such a certain way, so I could get them under there that I just pulled them out. I can't be bothered with them. Not like I need them on this car anyway, so I don't really know why I was carrying them around. On the side you have some hooks, so you have an elastic band there, a hook up there, another hook up there, which always comes undone, so that AA bag just sits there. You have another one there and another one over there. You have these metal tie-down points, so they're pretty good. I don't know what you'd be securing down here, but they're made of metal and they're pretty secure. So to close the boot, all you got to do is press this button and it will close electronically for you. Now, coming on the inside, I'm sorry about the microphone quality difference. I had to take off my microphone so I can record in here because the microphone is just too big. And so when I mount it the other way around so I can speak into it, it doesn't allow me to move my camera around very well, especially when we're inside a car. So we've got nice materials on the door cards. This is all soft. That's hard plastic, that's soft, that's leather, and that's leather. It's honestly, it's very premium in here, and it's going to be because of the original price of this car. I think maybe 50 grand, 52,000 pounds, something expensive, way more than I paid for it, but that's for another video. So in front of you, you have your multifunction steering wheel. It's leather wrapped, it's quite nice to hold, it's quite comfortable, it's not too thick. You have your stalks back here. Now, one problem I have with this car is that the automatic headlights, automatic high beam assist or whatever these automakers say. They change from every single car. It doesn't stay, so you have to do that manually every time, and that could be annoying, and it is something I don't like, but what can I do? On this side, you have your controls for your windscreen wipers, but those are automatic as well when pressing that button. Oh shit, that's the wrong way, isn't it? That's going to make it even louder. How do I turn this off? Off. I'll put it on 1, just so I'm not completely burning to death. So you have your full digital driver's dash, which lets you cycle through different modes. So you can go to drive mode and you can select dynamic or eco. Eco mode will change the dials, but you can also change everything in your individual settings, which to whatever you'd want, but I usually just leave it in either comfort mode or individual mode. But putting in dynamic does raise the revs ever so slightly for more, I guess, engaging driving experience. Now, this is a brilliant system, but it can be a bit distracting. I would say that having the heated seat controls and the temperature controls on here is not the best thing to do. In the future, whenever I purchase a car, I might try and make sure that the controls for these are not here, because it's so distracting when you're driving along and you're like, oh, I'm a bit warm, let me just turn that down. And you're trying to look at the road and you're trying to adjust this at the same time, and it just isn't safe. But the good thing is that you can do a lot of functions through just speaking to your car. But you can speak to it and go, hello.
Searching music and radio. Music search.
And the problem is,
would you like to listen to?
Cancel. You can't speak to it like you'd speak to a normal person. It's quite, these are the demands. So I can't go to it and say, I'm cold.
Phone, please repeat the name or number you want to call.
Cancel.
Cancel.
You see what I mean? It's not the most fluid system to use, as you can't speak to it. But if you know the commands, then you can work your way through the system pretty well. As I put my seatbelt on, the center screen will allow me to see the map. I'm not sure if that is a setting or not, but as I said before, I've not had a lot of time with this car. I've maybe driven it 1,000 miles, but those 1,000 miles haven't been very intense. It's more been like around town or no long proper journeys. But I was going to take it on a long road trip, but then all this happened, so I can't drive it anywhere. The sound system in this car is very good for a base system. This doesn't have the upgraded system, and it's still very good. You've got 2 speakers on each door, and there is one, oh sorry, there are 2 at the top of the headliner, which is black. It's a nice black headliner. I think this is a speaker as well. So 11 speakers in total, I believe. Down here you've got some multimedia controls, so you can play and pause music, turn up and down the volumes, skip and go back. It does have a heated windscreen, but to enable that I think you have to go to here and then electric. If you do it just here, oh no, it does engage, my bad. See, I'm still learning about this car. I'm not too sure about how it all works. Oh, please don't do that now. I don't need the heat on now. Hazard lights, the gear shifter, which is, I like it's an actual moving one rather than just a knob that moves back and forth. I like a solid one because it works a lot better. Start stop, so you turn left to turn it off, turn it right to turn it on. Drive modes, you have your parking brake, electronic, and your auto hold, which is brilliant. Behind this metal panel, or aluminium kind of panel, you have 2 cup holders. You can put your key in here when you're not using it, and you have a 12-volt outlet, which I use for a charger and a dash cam. Behind here, take my seatbelt off, behind here you have your center console, so in here you have a USB port, I was updating my maps, and an aux input. I can't really see, and there doesn't seem to be much else in there other than me putting the 12-volt cover in there as well. I conditioned these seats last week, and they're a lot softer, so I recommend doing that. I don't think they're the highest quality of leather, because this car only has 34,000 miles, and you can see where the leather is starting to fade, but that may be because it was owned by a very fat person trying to get in and out. I don't know. You've got half power seats, so you still have to use this metal bar at the front to move the seat forward and back, but you can adjust the height and your lumbar support electronically. You've got lit door sills, so at night these light up and you can, I guess, see the R Design logo in all its glory. You've got puddle lights as well, so that's nice, but what premium car now doesn't have that sort of thing. Aluminium plated pedals, another bonus. Another thing which I really like is a compartment here. Now BMWs have had that for ages, and I was like, I really hope my next car, even though it might not be a BMW, had it, and it does, so that's brilliant. Now coming around the back, we've got tinted glass, and I think a lot of people who are going to be buying this car want to know what legroom is like at the back. I have to say, it's excellent. I sit quite far back for my height. I'm 5'11". I recline the seat all the way, not all the way back, but quite far back, and I'd still feel comfortable behind myself, and I can't say that is true for many of the cars that I've owned. It's pretty comfortable, and I don't have any complaints, and I would sit here for hours and hours if I somehow didn't own my car. You have another 12-volt outlet in the back. You don't have the display here like on the higher, like, Inscription models, but you can just change it up there, and I mean, they're your rear passengers anyway. So ISOFIX mounting points here. Now these are flip-up covers. They don't come off, but they can come off, and unfortunately because they came off, I'm missing one. So I've ordered another one from eBay, and that should be coming later this week, so that will really make the interior look nicer. You can move down this middle piece, you get 2 cup holders, and this opens up to give you more storage, but that's the thing, it's not very much, so I don't know really know what you're going to be putting in there. Maybe a cereal bar, I guess. You know when you get a new car and you don't know where the release for the hood is? Oh, it's here. This is the 235 horsepower 2-litre diesel engine. Now this D5 is the highest trim, or highest level diesel engine you can buy, and I think it has around 450 newton meters of torque. So thank you guys for watching. I apologise it's not a full review, but in the current situation I don't think it's very easy for me to film a review, especially when I haven't had much experience with the car. And hopefully this summer I'll be able to do a road trip, and I'll be able to give my full thoughts. Alright everyone, stay safe. Bye.